Hello, Hero Collectors here. How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. I know I am, and today we've got some brand new Marvel Legends revealed from the Hasbro team. We've got 11 figures in total, 9 are from the Spider-Man Gamerverse line. Lots to talk about. I've got my notes here, so I hopefully don't forget anything. So let's just get on into it as I knock things over. So first up, we had Spirit Spider, who is a Walmart exclusive. Appears to have a brand new torso, but it seems to be like a Sunfire body mold base, like the limbs look like they're Sunfire, but the new torso does not have the butterfly joints. But despite that, this figure looks really good. I'm actually really excited for it. I don't love that it's a Walmart exclusive, but Walmart exclusives have been easier to get here recently, so I'm not super worried about getting him. I definitely want it for my comic Spider-Verse display. I'm going to put him with that. I'm not too keen on getting every Gamerverse costume, but the ones that I can fit within my comic universe, I'll get for that. And then the few that I want for my actual Gamerverse display, I don't really have a singular display. I just kind of mix it in with the rest of my movie Spider-Man stuff. So it's just kind of like my Spider-Man media shelf. So I think it looks great. I know nothing of the character, but it's a cool design that I've wanted ever since the first game came out. You know, I can't help but enjoy a cool Ghost Rider figure. So, and he also comes with all the hands that a Spider-Man should have. So the wall crawlers, the fists, the thwips, and I'm so happy for that because that is a big gripe that I've had recently. Is that not all Spider characters have had all the hands that they need. But moving on from that, we have a deluxe Kingpin from the first game that is an Amazon exclusive. It's built off the Joe Fixit base, which I don't love that body mold. It's not the best, but I get why that they used it for this character. It comes with 2 heads, a set of grip hands, and a set of fists, and a new, or no, I don't know if it's a new cane actually, but they said it's a ruby cane. So they, instead of having it a clear crystal on top, they have it as a red crystal ruby. I don't love the heads. I can, for whatever reason, I can distinctly remember the Kingpin look in the game, like that model, that face model, and they even have it on the box art. And I can't match it in my head. So I'm not loving the heads, but I like the release overall. Like, I do want to have this for my collection. It's not quite there. I don't think I'll be pre-ordering this one, but I do want to get it at some point to go with my Gamerverse display, which is expanding thanks to this wave. So definitely want him to add to the villains that we have very few of, which is a point I do want to talk about here in a bit. But moving on to the actual wave of 6 figures that we are getting. First up is the Miles upgraded suit, which is just a colorway of, I think, the Spider-Man 2 Miles Morales figure that got released a year ago. It's the one that came with the cat. That's a single release. He has most of the hands that a Spider-Man would need, but instead of wall crawlers, he has the electric hands, like the shock hands. So I can forgive it. I can also forgive it because I'm not super interested in this figure. I think it's a cool repaint, and the whole colorways in the game really allow for an action figure line to do nothing but repaints. And this just isn't a repaint that interests me. There's a few other suits that if they did a different colorway, I would absolutely be in on those because I like those designs and I like that colorway, and I even use them in the game. So if they ever get to those, I might, but I'm not doing a wish list right now. I can talk about those another time if you guys are interested. Next up is the Symbiote Peter Parker, which is amazing. It's all brand new sculpt, which is what you should be doing for Gamerverse figures like this. He has all the hands that he needs, fists, whips, wall crawlers, and he even includes a new tendril web effect, which I think looks excellent, and I can't wait to use on not only him, but other symbiote characters, and just see where I can use that on other figures and imposing. This is... I want to say it's my favorite of the wave, but there might be a contender for that. But it just looks great. I'm so happy that we're finally getting a Peter Parker Spider-Man from this game on a newly sculpted body, because the 2 previous advanced suits didn't get a sculpted body. They were on a comic body, which is another complaint of mine with another figure in this wave. Next up is the Miles Boracuna. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I really don't know, but I think it looks really cool. It's actually a costume that I used a lot in the game until I got the Mysterio costume and then a few other costumes later on. But it's one that I did use for a few levels and I really enjoy it. I can't tell. Is this reuse of the new comic book wave Miles? Because if it is, the hips look a lot better on this figure and give me hope that the hips that look like extra wide on the comic Miles was just like a bad like test figure. He looks really good. He has all the hands that I keep talking about. He has a web that we've seen before. I think this is one I'm going to get, but I'm not going to pre-order it. I do like this costume. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Probably just in the Gamerverse stuff, but I'll deal with that another time. Next up is the blue anti-venom suit, which it's built off what I think is the Sunfire mold. It's a colorway of the anti-venom costume in the game. It has all the hands that, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself, all the hands that Spider-Man needs, plus a web effect that we've seen before. Because I was listening to the stream at work, when they first said anti-venom, my heart like got really excited. And then they said colorway, and I went, okay, it's a figure I can skip. But at least since it's a new mold, that means I can wait for the eventual white repaint, because I want the white and black suit. And then when I actually looked at pictures, I saw it was just on a comic-based body, and I was like, well, I can just skip that altogether and just hope that they don't do a white variant on this body and sculpt a new body later on. That's my thing with these Peter Parker costumes is we keep getting comic bodies when they need to be newly sculpted. Most of the Miles ones have been all brand new sculpts. And I want some good Peter Parker figures. And the Anti-Venom costume is one I want, not in this colorway, but I do want it to be a proper new sculpt. So I'm going to be skipping this one and hoping, crossing fingers, that this wave does really well and it funds a new body sculpt and we get a proper Anti-Venom. Second to last, we got the Brooklyn 2099 suit, which is not the Miles Morales 2099 suit, apparently. I double-checked. Looks like it's all new sculpt. It has all the hands. It has some web splat effects that like it look like they're attached to a wall or something. We have seen these before in other Spider-Man figures. This looks cool. I don't know if I need it. Like, I have no problem with the figure. I just don't have a place for it. Like, it looks great, and it looks like a lot of fun. I just don't know where I would put it if I did get it. So he's kind of up in the air as a maybe. But the other figure that could be figure of the wave is the Black Cat figure. She's got all brand new sculpt, super articulated, ponytail's even sculpted. She's got a wand with tomb. She's got 2 clawed hands, 1 grip to hold the wand, and then 1 fist. I would have liked to have seen 2 fists and maybe 2 grips, but I can forgive it because of how good this figure looks. Like, genuinely, it looks like a great Black Cat figure, and she and the symbiote Peter Parker are the ones that I'm going to be pre-ordering from this 6-figure wave. Then we get on to the Super Deluxe that they announced, and it's Venom from the second game. I am so glad that they did Venom. He's one that I have really been wanting, especially like after playing the game recently and just loving that design. It's 10 inches tall, and it's in a Super Deluxe packaging, so it's going to be around the same price point as the Odin and Hulkbuster figure that we got this past year, which I think is an okay price point for what you get. I don't think it's outrageous. It kind of looks lanky and too thin when it's standing vanilla, but in the action shots that they have in the promo shots, it looks really good. And I think it's maybe one of those figures where, yeah, if you stand at vanilla, it's not going to look great, but once you pose it, it looks fantastic. So I'm hoping that's the case. It comes with a set of fists, a set of clawed hands, 1 tendril that can attach to his arm, and it looks like it's actually grabbing somebody if you wrap them in it. So that's really cool. If you have like a Mary Jane figure, you can do that and kind of recreate a scene that happens in the game. No, spoiler, sorry. And then we get 2 heads, one with a closed mouth, one with an open mouth and a tongue out, which both look really good. But what they did is they added in a saliva effect to go on the open mouth in the tongue, or like in the actual mouth. I think you have to loop the tongue into it, but that is such a nice attention to detail. I remember when I got to the Venom level, I immediately went to photo mode, and as I was swapping through all of the different like heads that head poses you can do, I noticed that the saliva always reset when you did a new one. So the saliva's there. I know it's in the game, and I appreciate that they did that for this figure. He's absolutely going to be pre-ordered as well. I currently have the Build-A-Figure Monster Venom, the Matt Gargan Venom, up in my display as the video game, or the Gamerverse Venom, but I can take that down now because I know this is coming, and he will absolutely be a replacement in that shelf. Okay, I wrote a few additional notes just of things I wanted to just bring up. Not that these are all like bad things and I'm super upset about them, but I just points of discussion. There are no alternate unmasked heads for Miles or Peter Parker. I would have really liked to have seen those, especially now with the new face deco that they're doing. I know the Armadillo Wave Miles came with an unmasked head, because I bought 2 of those when that came out, and I know I have that head somewhere. So getting an updated head of the game Miles would have been really cool. The fact that the Wave of 6 doesn't have a BAF is concerning for me for the year overall, but it doesn't upset me for this wave, because we're getting 9 figures all connected to the Spider-Verse stuff. So like if you were to take the Spirit Spider figure, make it a 7-figure wave, and then like Kingpin was the Build-A-Figure, and Venom is like the deluxe tying in release with the wave. That's a pretty normal wave. So I think what they did is they just spread it out. That might cost us a little bit more. I don't really know how, the math would work there. But I think we're still getting the same amount of figures. We just may have to pay a little bit more if you're all in, which for me, being not in on 2 of the figures in the 6-figure wave, I'm okay with this setup. But in the grand scheme of Marvel Legends, I just hope we are not done with Build-A-Figures. And this is just not helping that fear that is now growing within the community that I'm trying not to believe, but is present. For Venom, he doesn't have the wings. In the game, he does get the wings, and I know we have a wing sculpt. I think it would have been cool if we got the wings packed in with that Venom, but it's already a super deluxe, so I can forego it, and it's already a cool figure. I like the fact that in the game he has the wings, and it would have been cool to get those packed in with the figures. So I'm not super upset by that. It's a point to make. And then we need more villains. Like, we have Mr. Negative and the Inner Demons, and now Venom and Kingpin, and kinda Black Cat. I want more first game villains, and I want a Kraven. So I hope that this wave does really well, and that means we get more Gamerverse Spider-Man figures. Like, I'm not super upset that there aren't in this wave. I think they're really playing it safe by doing a lot of Spider-Man, because they know people will buy Spider-Man figures. So I think they're maybe seeing how well this does and then using how well this sells to fund future Gamerverse stuff. Hopefully, that's my hope. But moving on, they decided to show off some comic figures. It's a 2-pack for X-Force. It's Warpath and X-23. They previously have done these figures before. Warpath was like Dark Days of Hasbro. X-23 was the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave, I think. And I never had that previous Warpath, so this is an excellent figure to be getting. He's on the 85th anniversary Venom body, so it's the super articulated torso, but he's got pins and whatnot. He's not 100% upgraded, but he's close. He's got some really good articulation. Fisted hands, grip hands, 2 knives. He has a sheath on the back of his belt. I don't know if it's 2 sheaths. I could only see like only 1 knife would go in a sheath in the promo pics. So if anybody saw more than what I did and he can put both knives in the back of his belt, put it down in the comments. I only saw one, but I could be very wrong. X-23 has two heads. One's an angry masked head, and then the other is a unmasked but still kind of serious head. She's got a set of clawed hands, a set of fist hands, and a set of kind of like wide open, not like splayed, but just kind of like relaxed hands. She's double pinless, which is really cool because it's the first X-23 that is. Now, Dwight said that she is super articulated, but I couldn't find butterflies or the lower ab crunch. Like, there's a diaphragm, but I didn't see in the promo pics a lower ab crunch or butterflies. So if I'm not seeing them and they're there, I'm very wrong. But if they aren't there, then I don't think it's super articulated. But this is a cool 2-pack. I'm definitely going to get it because I don't have that Warpath and the X-23. While I have the previous one, that one will now go up here in the Legacy Hero shelf, and the Wolverine Laura that I have, she'll go in my X-Men shelf. So everything will just kind of swap, but I won't have to sell anybody. Then the last thing that they showed off was a missile as a tease, and this is like the dumbbells that we got before. I don't really know directly what this could go to. I saw some people say it looks like the missile from Avengers 1, so it might be an Iron Man that like is like carrying it. I saw that some people are expecting the Maximum line Hulk to come with a missile that like he can catch and like whatever. But there's no like direct like answer that I'm seeing. So I will just wait and see what this brings us. But yeah, let me know what you all thought down in the comments below. I would say my top 3 reveals were Symbiote Suit Peter Parker, Black Cat, and Venom. Those are the 3 that I'm absolutely going to be pre-ordering. I'm going to pre-order Spirit Spider, and then I'll most likely pre-order the Warpath and X-23 2-pack. But yeah, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And with all that being said, I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you all in another video, another post, another time.